Hello, everybody. My name is Indo, and welcome back into at least the sequel to my tier list videos. So, before I once did this with overnight characters. I did this with overnight characters, ranking the ones that we at least know of, the characters that we at least knew of in the past. Basically, I would put them in a certain spot based on my personal interest, if I really liked the character or I really hated it. So today we're going to be doing the same thing. I mean, what can you expect? It's a tier list. So aside from that, let's drop off to a whole new topic. So what are we going to be doing a tier list of specifically? So I've been playing Castle Crashers recently. I've been playing a little bit of it. I've been getting back into it. Those who haven't seen my stream or my recent videos, clearly, there's a new video which I'll be doing a Castle Crashers series on. However, I've been playing it. I've been playing some. I've actually been playing some with my other characters, not the Orange Knight. We're still going to be doing that Orange Knight story mode and all that shit. You see, I hate to geek about a certain game because something like this you wouldn't really see off of me, because I don't like geeking with certain video games, because to me it's just weird. So, yeah, and because I was playing Castle Crashers recently, I thought of, wait, do you think they have a tier list up on, do you think they have a tier list on the web about, like, certain characters? Now, I was going to make my own Castle Crasher, character tier list. However, somebody already did it, and it seems we have a lot to cover. So, as our overnight character tier list being 30 minutes long, this might be double that. It depends whether how fast we wrap this video up. If I just like put the characters without even like giving them details or defining them, this video could just simply be like 5 minutes long. However, I'm not going to do that. I'm that type of bitch who wants content. I want 10 minutes of content. I want that ad revenue, even if I'm not qualified for it. Yeah. So, this is just going to be a long-ass video of me ranking your favorite Castle Crasher characters in a tier list. So, before we start ranking the characters, this is not because whether I like it or it's just because of my shared opinion. Well, basically it is my shared opinion. However, this is not because of the way how they look. This is prior to their abilities. Like what can they do? Like what abilities do they have? Can they do this? Can they do that? So yeah, that's basically what we're going to be doing. And I can tell you, at least 75% of these characters are very fucking terrible, and the other 25% are really, really good. Or at least like 10% of them are just okay, and 15 are like really good. But, yeah, not because of their appearance. I don't want to rank them because of their appearance. However, I can if I want, and I might do it actually. However, this is going to be mainly focused on their abilities and like what they could do and all that. So, without further ado, let's get into the video. So, first off, you already know who had to start off first. The Industrialist. This guy, I gotta say, there's not much to picture as him. Like, if you played Castle Crashers, if you've beaten the game with the Blue Knight, you unlock this guy, you already know you fucking won the game in like 5 easy seconds. So if I had to say, for speedrunners, in any case, this guy deserves S tier. Simply S tier. Because you already know he's the fucking best. And there's another character alongside of that. However, that being for replayability, we'll just get into it later. I'll explain it. So people figured asking, why am I still doing the tier list videos? The basic answer for that is that it's still relevant to this day, and I figure still doing tier list videos just for an excuse of daily uploads, and because of this, I feel like I'll gather more attention, and we can actually be a healthy, growing YouTube channel, which brings me over to presenting Overknot. Let's not talk about that though. So yeah, I figure only doing this video just because the tier list trend is still relevant. And yeah, let's just continue the video. So the next character we want to go off has to be the Alien. Now the Alien, you simply unlock this character for completing the alien ship, as far as I believe, in Castle Crashers Remastered. Yeah, you unlock this character for completing the alien ship. So really for just unlocking a character that far into the game, it's not as hard. However, that being for his special abilities and the weapon he has. The weapon he has, I believe, it's just a simple laser gun. I think it does fire damage, as far as I believe, but other than that, it does nothing. He cannot switch weapons. However, that being for his special abilities and stuff, however, it's not as good when you think about it. But if I had to say, oh wait, this dude has an N tier. What's with the N tier? We're gonna imagine it as a E tier. But yeah, I think he deserves D tier in any case. He's not really, actually, he kind of deserves E tier. I'm sorry, Alien fans, but I'm gonna be very honest. The Alien really isn't my favorite. He doesn't deserve F tier though. I'm just gonna say that he doesn't deserve F tier. For a character that I might actually play as so often, maybe. He is cool in a sense, but the Alien is really just E tier, in my opinion. Next up, the Skeleton. The Skeleton is unlocked if you complete the game using the Red Knight. The Red Knight, in a sense, is very fucking OP. We'll get over to him later in the video. However, with the Skeleton, so he comes with, I think, the Dark Mace or whatever it's called, which, as far as I believe, as I remember from memory, is a really good fucking weapon. And that goes for his special abilities, which it consists of dark magic, which one of the moves, it's a very, I don't really like one of the moves, but the other one is really fucking good. So, Skeleton deserves B tier. The Barbarian. The Barbarian is unlocked, like, in the very beginning of the game. You can unlock him by completing a basic arena. I would suggest you to be at, like, level, I don't know, 7 or 8 to at least complete this arena. Get some potions with you. This character, I believe, well, as I remember, I did complete the game with him before. I think. There's too many characters to cover. But yeah, this character, his weapon is very, very poor taste. However, there are higher chances of getting critical hits with it, or you just get critical hits in general. However, for his weapon, it's very bad, but his magic, it consists of war axes and spears. Nothing really exciting, it's just basic damage. However, because it doesn't cause elemental damage, in a sense, when you're fighting up against the cultist or even the fire demons, this gives the barbarian more of a upper advantage because he can't do elemental damage. So because of that, and I'm only saying because his weapon's very ass, he deserves at least C tier. He's not the best, he's not the worst. I've said this before already. So next up is the Beekeeper. The Beekeeper is unlocked when you complete the game with the Barbarian, which we already discussed before. The Beekeeper, I believe his weapon is, it's like a rat stick or whatever it's called, or like a paddle. And I don't remember using it a lot, but I'm going to assume it's a very bad fucking weapon. But that being for his magic is literally fucking bees. He summons bees to kick your ass. And I like the theme of it. It's very funny in a sense. However, for the magic, just like the Barbarian, he does no elemental damage. So, just like the Barbarian, the Beekeeper, and his very shitty weapon, deserves C tier. Next up, the Brute. The Brute is unlocked when you complete the game with the Eskimo, I believe. The Eskimo. So the Brute, in my opinion, he's one of those very overrated characters. I do personally like him in my opinion. I like his magic. I like his weapon that you get from him. There's a lot to say about this character. I like the weapon. The magic's okay, but I still like it. But for the whole grind, you don't even have to unlock the character to get the weapon, as far as I believe. You could just kill one of these brutes and then you'll get the weapon. I think it's like a rare chance though. But that being said, for the brute, for the whole hassle of playing as an Eskimo, I think he deserves B tier, just like the skeleton. I like the brute. He's really fucking nice. The next is the civilian, or the pilgrim, or the peasant. I forgot his fucking name. I think it's the civilian. The civilian is... It's an exact copy of what the peasant is. The peasant character is. I think I remember. There's not a lot to go for show, but I forgot if he threw knives or bombs. I don't want to search that up. However, he's just like any other character. He's like the Grey Knight. That going for a character like this, he's a complete copy of the peasant. I think, sadly, he's going to deserve F tier. However, his weapon, I think his weapon's a skinny sword, which is another fucking bad weapon. So, something like that. I don't like the civilian. I don't really like him. I would play as him one day, though. The next is the Conehead. This guy is a copy of the Grey Knight, and his weapon is the lightsaber, which gives you, I believe it gives you 3 agility and like a lightning effect to your weapon. But okay, so like this character is unlocked by completing the volcano arena. A character like this, in a sense, yeah, he's just a fucking copy of the Grey Knight, and I could play the Grey Knight way before I could play the Conehead, and the Conehead doesn't really unlock anything specifically for completing the game. The Conehead's just there. It's just a copy of It's just a copy of the Grey Knight. So I think he also deserves F tier as well. Sadly. The next is the Koltes Minion. This character is someone I really struggle to unlock because sometimes I never have the fucking nerves to do it. However, I do want to play a little bit of Insane Mode to unlock him. But since I played 360 back in the day, I can easily remember this character, that being for his weapon, which is so fucking good. The Koltes Minion's character weapon is really good. His magic, however, is the same as it's the same as the skeletons, but his weapon, in my opinion, is so fucking good that it deserves A tier. I'm not even exaggerating. It's just so fucking good. Next is the Green Knight. The Green Knight, in my opinion, I don't really like this character, but he's not bad in a sense, and I would say he deserves at least D tier, but that going for how his elemental magic goes, just the acid, you just spit out acid and shit, it's really cool to think about, but I have to say he doesn't deserve F tier, and he probably deserves, he's not at, because at least he could switch his weapons, at least he's not the alien, so he deserves D tier. I still don't like him though, he's just there. Yeah, because I would put him in D tier because at least the Green Knight can, at least he could switch his weapons and shit. But that going for the alien, he can't switch his weapons, his magic is very fucking basic. Yeah. Next up is the Grey Knight. I've already talked about this character before. I've already mentioned him, I think like multiple times, as far as I believe. This character can be unlocked by completing the Barbarian boss in the very beginning of the game. So, for a base character like this, let me just specify what he has. He has a skinny sword, which is terrible, and his magic, it consists of arrows, flying arrows, and bombs, which is also very fucking terrible. However, that being for his bombs being his only elemental damage, in a sense of fire, so he's pretty much like the Orange Knight, and he's also completely useless at the same time. I think in my opinion, because he's not a copy of the Conehead, he deserves E tier, or N tier, however this guy wrote it. So yeah. Next will be Hattie Headington. This character is unlocked, by purchasing him in the Insane Shop. It's not going to cost you, like, real money. This is in-game currency, so Castle Crashers doesn't have microtransactions. Thank God. But this character, I grinded for it. I played the Barbarian boss and the Painter boss multiple times in order to unlock this character. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm not really interested in the character. However, when I was playing 360 back in the days and I had this character, all I could say is that his whale could shit out money. And that was probably the only good thing about it. But it was only 1 gold. That was all. That was the only fucking thing about him. His magic, I mean his weapon at least, it gives you magic, and I think it gives you agility, as far as I believe. I know it gives you magic, but it was like a green crystal sword. But his magic consists of a golden whale flying over the horizon, beating the shit out of people, shitting out money that will then kill people. I don't know if the money did fire damage or not. I feel like remembering that about the golden whale shitting out money that does fire damage. But apart from that, he can also cry, which is his secondary magic move, just shooting out tears, which I believe doesn't do any elemental damage. I don't know why that would do elemental damage, but that's just there for show, I guess. And then there's his third magic move. This is the only one I'm going to be discussing, by the way, because it's very different apart from others. He shoots a gem at people, which doesn't do elemental damage. So, for the grind for this character, was it worth it? No. But was the character nice? He kind of was. I say he's at least D tier. But that's just about it. Next up is the Eskimo. The Eskimo is the Eskimo can be rewarded by completing the icy arena. I would suggest you to at least get to be at a decent level in order to unlock this character, because he's so fucking hard to unlock. At least in my days, he was 3 to 4 years ago. My god, I was such a weeb back then. Other than that, his weapon it's okay. It's pretty okay. However, that goes for his magic. He's basically a nerfed Blue Knight. That going for his first magic move, his primary magic move is shooting ice crystals that can freeze your opponents. And that going for his secondary magic move, which is shooting out snowballs, which is not really... I mean, it doesn't do elemental damage, which gives you an advantage to the Koltes Minions, but that's pretty much it. That's really just pretty much it. So, because he's a nerfed Blue Knight, but I do like his weapon, he deserves C tier. Alright. Next up will be the Black Knight, or Stoveface. This character, again, is a copy of the Grey Knight. However, was his weapon a skinny sword? I can't remember that. I can't recall if his weapon was a skinny sword or it wasn't. I think it was. However, for being another copy of the Grey Knight, I simply have to just give this character an F. F tier. For all the fucking Grey Knight copies, I'm giving him an F. Literally, all the whole fucking F tier section are just Grey Knight copies. Except for one of them, which it may convince you that it is a Grey Knight copy, but it really isn't. Because I actually have good memory on it. Next up is the Bear. Now, I don't have the Bear as far as I believe. However, I do remember playing as the Bear back then on 360. The Bear is, in my opinion, the Bear is actually pretty fucking decent. I like his little spinny attack. I like his magic and shit. Hell, his weapon is really that good. So, without question, the Bear deserves A tier. I like him. Without question, I like the Bear. I'm not a furry, by the way. Okay. Alright. So next up will be the Fencer. Now, I was talking about this character in the beginning, about the Industrialist. This guy is the literal copy of the Industrialist. Now, if I were to say, you guys are going to expect the Fencer to be S tier, but he really isn't going to be S tier. Because of how underrated this character really is, and the type of feedback it gets. if I were to say, because of his weapon as well, his weapon is actually pretty terrible. I don't like it. That going for his magic is literally the same thing as the Industrialist. The Fencer deserves not F tier, not C tier, but B tier. Because he's very underrated. I hate his weapon. But his magic is the same thing. The magic's the same thing. Like, I'll tell you what, if you already have an Industrialist filling up that one spot, and they already raced you to it, guess what? You can play as the Fencer, and it's no different. So yeah, that's pretty much what it is. But other than that, the Fencer, he may be a copy of the Industrialist, but he's not really good in a sense, because he's just very underrated, and I hate his fucking weapon. So next up will be the Fire Demon. The Fire Demon is rewarded when you complete the game with the Orange Knight, which we are doing, in fact. But other than that, the Fire Demon is... He's technically the same thing as the Orange Knight, but it's way more different than as it seems. However, I wouldn't really necessarily call him an Orange Knight copy. That going for his magic, because it's way more different. His magic really reminds me of the dark magic off of the skeletons in Koltes. So, really, in my opinion, he deserves B tier. And I do remember how badass the Fire Demon's weapon was. Actually, I almost forgot about the Fire Demon's weapon. It's actually really that good. I actually like it. Yeah. So next up is Red Knight. The Red Knight, I'm not gonna go too crazy about this character, but however, this character is mega lol fucking OP. He is fucking overpowered. If you started a 4-player type of thing, if you're sitting on the couch, right, you're playing with your friends, right, and there's 4 of you. If you're the first one to race the Red Knight, you were the ultimate goddess. You're the fucking king of Castle Crashers. Because I'm not even gonna get over how OP this character is. So let's talk about his weapon. Let's just talk about his weapon. His weapon, it's not as good. As far as I believe, it does critical damage, but that's pretty much all. But the thing about his magic really strikes me is that literally is that his primary magic attack, his very first one you get in the very fucking beginning, is that he electrocutes enemies over time in like a straight ass line, and the more you upgrade your magic from time to time, the longer the fucking beam gets and the more damage it takes. Also, the laster it longs. So Red Knight is pretty much the best fucking character in the game, apart from Industrialist. But other than that, he's really good. Now, people are going to be asking, what about his what about his secondary attack? His secondary attack it's a bit of a meh. I don't really like it, but his primary attack is just, it's going everywhere. It's all over the place. If you want a fucking overpowered team in Castle Crashers, I would suggest you a King, Industrialist, Red Knight, and Fencer. That's basically all you need. That's the overpowered team. Okay. So next up is the King, as we were saying before. So the king is unlocked from completing a certain insane mode level. I believe it was fighting the catfish or fighting Pastrilla, the bat, on insane mode. This character, I have to say, is definitely worth it. As you up your defense and magic up, he will heal yourself and your team over time by just simply spamming the heal button, the magic button. That's his primary magic attack. It's just healing. So basically, the king is your healer in your team. And I like him in a sense because you don't need to take fucking potions for this. Potions are completely unnecessary. You can just have the king as your healer, which is really good. If you ran out of potions, you could have the king in your team. You'll be all set. You could fucking do this, which in my opinion is really good. However, for his secondary magic attack, this being he throws off like little gold daggers or something, like little ciders or like moon-shaped crescents. It doesn't do elemental damage, which I guess is fine in a sense. However, I would just be mainly focused on his healing magic. That's pretty much all. And his weapon as well is really cool. I really like his weapon in a sense, which throws me off guard into putting him simply in A tier. He's not S tier, but he's A tier. That's what I have to give him. Oops. Okay. So next up, you guys been waiting for this. You guys been waiting for this moment. I did like 5 fucking remixes of this guy. Sadly, I'm not doing it anymore. However, you guys been waiting for this. I'm gonna give it to you guys. The Necromancer. So, I may be a full-on Necromancer weeb on Castle Crashers for I don't know how long. But I like his theme. But that doesn't convince me that I really like the character in any base, because the character's cool, okay? I'm not gonna lie. However, playing as the character is pretty meh when you think about it. So his weapon, it's pretty good. I like it. I like his weapon. However, you can already get this weapon if you beat the Necromancer boss. Oh, also, to receive this character, you need to complete the Industrial Castle on Insane Mode. So, that's just a heads up. If you're on Insane Mode, you're about to enter the Industrial Castle. Go ahead, unlock this character if you wish. I mean, you're gonna have to be Insane Mode somehow, you know? But all that with the character and such, being his magic, so his primary magic attack is skeleton hands coming out of the ground, which it isn't really necessarily that good. I wish it really was overpowered, because after all, he is the Necromancer. I wish he could like summon the dead like he could summon minions for you. However, he doesn't do that. That would have been like really good fan service in my opinion. However, he can throw the dead at you. I'm saying he could throw skeletons at you as his secondary magic attack. But other than that, it's just the character itself deserves not E tier, but I'd say D tier. Or actually, when you think about it, no, I'm about to say C tier actually. Because I really like the character in this sense, in my opinion. I like his weapon, and his magic's pretty meh. He deserves C tier. The next character will be the Open-Faced Grey Knight. The Open-Faced Grey Knight, you may be asking, is Okay, so you guys are obviously gonna say this out of the fucking blue. I can't stop you guys, but you guys are gonna say, oh my god, it's another fucking Grey Knight copy. But let me just register, let me assure you guys that the open-faced Grey Knight is not a fucking copy. He is not a copy. He is far more different and superior. In a sense, I really actually like this character. I don't know why, but I really like this character. So, his primary magic is flying arrows, like the usual. Go ahead, just say he's a fucking Grey Knight copy all you want. But what throws me off guard here is that his secondary magic attack is throwing knives. Which, you might be saying, it's pretty cool, yay! Yeah, I suppose it's really cool. However, I just like it in general. It's just, in my personal opinion. His weapon, is the skinny sword. I believe so. I don't want to get too far into this character, as that, yet it's more of a semi-copy of the Grey Knight. So, yeah, I'm just gonna say, deserves at least D tier. I don't really like the character as much, but it's just there. The next character we're going to be discussing is the Peasant. The Peasant is, as far as I believe, I don't think he throws knives just like the open-faced Grey Knight. I'm pretty sure he's just another fucking, he's another Grey Knight copy. And because of that, I'm gonna have to put him in F tier. I'm kidding. Because I'm looking at him, his weapon was the fishing pole. Or, I think it was the ladle, or the paddle. Which, again, was, as I said before, with the Beekeeper, it's a very fucking useless weapon. However, his, if he's really a Grey Knight copy, at least he's not a fucking knight, in my opinion. But, because of this, because he's not a knight, in a sense, I like him for his appearance. He's a fucking peasant, dude. Can you imagine a peasant in the battlefield just kicking the shit out of people? That's what I like. In my personal opinion, deserves E tier. Even if he's a Grey Knight copy. I like him. He's not so hard to unlock either. You just unlock him by completing the Peasant arena. That's pretty much all you have to do. The next character is a bit of a trendy one. This character is, as far as I could say, it's a fucking meme, but it's also cute in a sense. I kind of like this character. I like the Pink Knight. The magic, however, it does, what I like about it is that you could just literally spam with this character. You could spam with the Pink Knight, which I really fucking like, with the primary attack being rainbows. It's really fucking good. It's really fucking good. And the secondary attack is just throwing penguins, cute little penguins at enemies, exploding penguins, in fact. Which yeah, it's a whole new alternate character. It may seem like a Grey Knight to you, but let me just say it's way more than a fucking Grey Knight. It's true fucking art, and because it's a meme, and you could just spam with the fucking rainbow attack, she deserves B tier, or in fact A tier at least. No, does she deserve A tier? I don't know if she deserves A tier. I'm gonna say she deserves A tier. Because it's a really good fucking character. I'm also not assuming the Pink Knight's gender. Well, I was for a second. Let's just not talk about it. Okay, next up will be the Blacksmith. I remember not even fucking around with the default knights in the 360. I would just play as the Blacksmith because he looked badass in my opinion, with a fucking scar and shit. Yeah, as far for this character, his primary attack is a fucking frog with its tongue out, beating the shit out of you. That's all. That's the basic definition I could give for you. It's not elemental damage, which in a sense is really handy against those Koltes Minions. But his secondary attack is fire hammers, which does fire elemental damage, which does elemental damage against those Koltes Minions, which means you're fucked. But the character, in a sense, I like because I played as this character. Because this was my first choice, I bought the fucking Blacksmith DLC. Like, I didn't actually give a fuck about what character I would really play as. This was actually my first fucking character I would play as. I discussed it in a live stream. I'ma say, you deserve B tier. Next up is the Royal Guard. The Royal Guard is... The Royal Guard is unlocked if you complete the game with the Green Knight, which is another useless factor. However, the Royal Guard is another fucking Grey Knight copy. But his weapon, however, I kind of forgot what his weapon was. If his weapon's a skinny sword, I fucking swear. But because I don't really remember what his weapon was, what his sword was, I'm gonna feel like raising the stakes here. I'm gonna feel like putting the Royal Guard in D tier because he might be a copy of the fucking Grey Knight. That doesn't defeat the purpose how I don't fucking know what his weapon is. And if it's I'm gonna tell you what, after I'm finished with this video and I search up what the Royal Guard's weapon is, if it's a fucking skinny sword, he's going to F tier. That's all I'm gonna say. But really, because I don't know what the fuck his weapon is, and I'm assuming it's not a skinny sword, he's gonna deserve D tier. Next up will be Blue Knight. Blue Knight is just one of the default base characters. However, this character is so fucking good. Just right when we got into the mix of it, this character, I'm about to say right now, is really good. We don't need to talk about his default weapon because his weapon is just pretty defaultish. It doesn't have any special abilities to itself. However, his magic, it's so fucking good. If you're dealing with a lot of fucking enemies, right? If you're dealing with a huge ass wave of enemies and you're just hitting them in a direct line of sight, shoot your fucking ice crystals at them. I'm not fucking kidding. And they'll just stay still for like 4 to 5 seconds, and then that will save you enough time to do anything you want. Anything you want. And before I said this, the Eskimo was a nerfed, he was a nerfed Blue Knight, and I'm actually right. He is a nerfed Blue Knight. And because of that, Blue Knight is beyond C tier. Blue Knight is actually A tier. Next up will be, I forgot this guy's fucking name. I think it started with an S or something, but I forgot his fucking name. However, this character, I'm not going to say his name because I forgot it. This character is unlocked by completing the game with the Royal Guard, and if I have to say, it's surprisingly not a Grey Knight copy. I'm actually fucking happy that it's not a Grey Knight copy. This character, in a sense, it's the same thing as the bear. However, both of their magics are far less more different. But because the bear is A tier, I think he's A tier. Is the bear A tier? Yeah, the bear is A tier. Because this dude's magic is far more superior than the bears. And I also like this dude's weapon as well. I'm going to put him in S tier. So yeah, I forgot his name though, but I remember all his shit though. Next up will be the ninja. The ninja is unlocked by completing the game with the fire demon. The ninja's weapon, I forgot his fucking weapon, but I'm assuming that doesn't really fucking matter. It would have been cool if it was like a katana or something, but the ninja, his magic it's pretty basic. It's like shurikens and smoke, but that's pretty much what it is. That's pretty much all it is. But if I had to say, character like this deserves B tier. I don't remember his weapon though. That's just the only fucking thing. I don't remember his weapon, sadly. So next up will be the Orange Knight. Orange Knight is a default character. His default weapon, unnecessary. We don't need to talk about that shit. The character. This is also the character that I'm grinding with in Castle Crashers. I'm doing my little series on. So if you were paying attention to my stream, clearly the Orange Knight can. Basically, his magic is fire. That's pretty much all you have to know. And because it's the element is fire, it could do damage over time. Deserves B tier. He's nothing like Blue Knight. That's for sure. The Orange Knight is nothing like Blue Knight, as far as I'm concerned. Because at least the Blue Knight can stun people with his fucking ice crystals. Next up will be Snaky. I think that's his name. I think it's Snaky. This character is awarded by completing the game with the Thief, which is the very last one. That's the next one we're going to be doing, and then we're fucking done with this. So for Snaky, I like his weapon. And his magic is the same thing as the Brute. So as much as I'm concerned, because he's like basically a Brute copy, Snaky deserves C. Last fucking character. This is gonna be the legit like last fucking character. The Thief. The Thief, we don't need to discuss this character any further, as that this character is a fucking... He's another Grey Knight copy, children. You know what that means. However, I should discuss how this character is awarded before we should put him in his proper spot. But, this character is awarded if you complete the Thief arena, which is like the second arena you should deal with. However, I think his weapon was a skinny sword. I forgot what his weapon was, in a sense. But because, to me, he's a Grey Knight copy, he easily deserves F tier. I'm just gonna say it like that. So this was our whole tier list. However, we're not finished with that yet. We still have to organize them, see what we like better. And as I'm looking at it right now in S tier, everything's looking fine. I want to keep it that way. That going for A tier, I think I like Blue Knight more. Actually, there we go. Oops. No, there we go. There we go. Okay. That going for B tier. Which, okay, of course I'm gonna put Fencer in there. I'll put you past. Yeah, I kind of like that. And then there's C tier, which, in a sense, I'm gonna like this. I'm gonna like this. There we go. I like that. And this going for, characters like these. You know, I'm just gonna put Royal Guard in the back because I forgot what his fucking weapon was. That's how we're gonna do it. However, I will put Open Face Grey Knight in front of Hattie. That being for the alien going all the way in the fucking back. Keep going all the way in the fucking back. And we're gonna keep Grey Knight there because he's easy to obtain. Also, he's the very first Grey Knight before all the Grey Knight copies. And not going for F tier. You know what? Fuck the F tier. We're not even going to talk about the F tier. We're not going to organize this shit. That's pretty much all I wanted to discuss, okay? The fucking F tier, they're all fucking Grey Knight copies. That's all we're going to talk about. I don't care if they have different fucking weapons or some shit. I don't want to talk about these characters because they're all fucking Grey Knight copies for their magic. So, let's not talk about this shit. So yeah, other than that, that was the end of the video. I'm not going to use the outro for this because apparently Epidemic wants to claim my videos. I don't know why they didn't do it before, but apparently they want to do it now. Yeah, they basically did it with my last tier list video. But yeah, I'm not going to do the outro for this video because I'm kind of scared if I actually get copyright claimed. I'm afraid I'm going to have to find a new outro. But anyways, that was the Castle Crashers tier list. That was at least my Castle Crashers tier list. I may do one more Castle Crashers related type of tier list. I might just do it for the boss battles, perhaps. In fact, I might just do it for the boss battles. I really don't fucking know. But other than that, I think I might have ran out of some tier list ideas. But still, if you guys enjoyed the video, leaving a like is appreciated if you're new. Subscribing is always appreciated with post notifications. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.